Looks like the entrances have kind of slowed down, so I think we're safe to get going. I am Katie Smith. I am a homeownership counselor out of Adair's Crestwell, Oregon office, so I'm kind of in the Eugene area. I usually prefer to host these events with a co-host who's kind of monitoring the questions, and that didn't work out today, so I think it'll be just fine. I'm gonna pause sporadically and just make sure I'm staying up on the Q&A and we're kind of answering questions as they're relevant to what we're looking at. So feel free to shoot your questions my way. I think these things are a little bit funner with participation. So all questions are good questions. That being said, please try and use that Q&A feature at the bottom of your toolbar rather than the chat function. It's just a little easier to stay on top of and easier to see when someone throws in a question. So without further ado, I'm really excited to show this house today. It's a little different than some of the ones I've done previously. So the house we're looking at, I'm going to show you kind of how it is as a pre-engineered plan, some of the exterior options, and then I'm going to jump into the plans for these particular customers and show you the modifications that they made. And then we'll watch the video. So the house that we're looking at is our Livingston Plan, and this is a 2,830 square foot house. If you are looking at our website, you'll see with all of our plans that we have kind of these standard pre-packaged exterior options. And I like to point out here, if you've watched my videos before, you hear me say a lot of the same things over and over, and it's just because I think they're important. So I like to point out that these are not set in stone. So if you start with, say, the classic elevation or the traditions elevation, you're like, oh, I just love this, but I wish I had stained grade corbels, or I wish I had, a cedar shake in the gables or gridded windows or what have you. Any of these packages, they can be just a starting point. So you can see what it comes with and then modify if you want, or run with it exactly how it's designed. So in this case, these particular customers did the traditions elevation. And that just means that we have this lap siding at the bottom half of the house and the batten board in the gables. And then it adds this trim around all the windows and doors all the way around the house. So a little curb appeal. They did, you'll see, I'll show you some of the major modifications they made, but as far as the front of the house, they left it fairly standard. They did add the third car garage bay. So important things to know about the exteriors of our houses. All of the siding all the way around the house is a fiber cement board. It's James Hardie brand. It has a 50-year warranty. The roof is a 50-year shingle. There may be other options in some of our warmer branches, for example, Arizona. But here in Oregon, 50-year shingle is the standard package. These windows are all a lifetime dual pane vinyl window. And then of course, Adair is going to do our 1 year after move-in everything warranty, and then our 10-year structural warranty, in addition to all the manufacturer's warranties that you'll receive. So I'm going to show you how this plan is designed as a standard. So you come in right here under this little porch cover to your front entry. We've got this open combined living and dining room off to your side. Your kitchen in the back corner, nice big corner pantry, big island, sink under the window, and then kind of this open space for your nook and great room, and then a pass through to your garage. So you'll pass right through the half bath in the utility room. And then upstairs, we've got all the bedrooms. So you've got your primary suite up here, and then in the corner, a really large primary bath, really large walk-in closet. The furnace is housed up here because, of course, our base package includes the heat pump and the furnace. So furnace on this plan is housed kind of right dead center in the upstairs. We've got a giant bonus room, and then the 3 bedrooms. So you've got your egress windows in each, and then one of them has this little walk-in closet. The other 2 have a standard closet with bypass doors. And then the bathroom for these 3 bedrooms here, bath 2. We've got our tub, shower, toilet, and then a 6-foot vanity. Okay, that being said, I'd like to show you, when you're looking at any of our floor plans, towards the bottom, there is an option for an attached studio. So this is our 512. It's 512 square feet. It can be added to any of our plans on the side. It can be modified, but as a standard, it looks a little like this. So you've got a large bedroom, a bathroom, a washer dryer, a stackable washer dryer space, a little kitchenette, and then a kind of a great room studio space. Okay, now that I've showed you that, make sure there's no questions thus far, and let me show you what these guys did to their plan. All right, so to get your bearings, this is the downstairs. We're coming into our front entry here. They added this door that goes off to the garage on the left, and of course they added this third car bay. Rather than doing the open dining living room layout, they did the den option. So they kind of walled off this space. Got their kitchen in the standard spot, although they made some really cool modifications I'll show you in the video. And then nook and great room are standard, utility and half bath are standard. But you probably noticed off to the right here, we have this attached studio. So they added some square footage to it. It's a little bigger than how it was originally drawn, but then it perfectly matches the length of this house. So it just kind of perfectly meshes right up to the side of it. A lot of people will add these to the side of the garage. You can also detach them, totally about what your jurisdiction requires or what your property is best suited for. So you can see we've got a little kitchenette, bathroom. With their added space, they were able to do a full side-by-side washer and dryer utility room, and then a little bit of a walk-in closet here from that the dual primary suite. Okay. If we have no questions so far, we will jump into our video. So let's start it back at the beginning. How about? I think the videos always go a little bit fast, so I'm just going to pause and point out what you're looking at as we go. So, front of the house, over here we've got our added studio. We've got our third car garage bay. So going right in the front entry, they painted this house. It's beautiful. I absolutely love their style. It turned out so great. One of the cool things that Adair now does as part of the base price is interior and exterior paint. So we take that off your plate. We do use Sherwin-Williams paint, so really great product. So just getting rolling, coming right in this entry, and you're going to get kind of a teaser. So straight through this den into this added studio. You could choose a lot of times not to have a conjoining door coming right into the house from the studio. In this case, they wanted that together but separate feel. So this design was intentional. Other things you're seeing here, so they did the 9-foot play height downstairs. We've got 9-foot ceilings. They did an upgraded door. We've got this 2-panel round top, and you'll see that throughout the main house. We've got a laminate plank floor. This is a Shaw product. Let's just keep going a little bit. So now with that den option, we have kind of this semi-formal dining space here, kind of open but separate, I'll say. Open but not. And then into this kitchen. So at the time that they requested this, it was a first for me. I had never done one of these table islands, but they took the standard island, they deleted the cabinets on the back of it, and instead just extended the countertop into a tabletop. So they've got kind of this common space they can all stand around, they can eat at, or they can use their formal dining room. They did do a couple things in here. This is a beautiful kitchen. So our standard appliance package is going to be a 30-inch Whirlpool stainless steel range, a microwave hood, just like you see, and then a dishwasher. We don't provide the refrigerator. However, we do the plumb line in the plug, so you just plug and play. And then you can always choose to look through our upgrade options for appliances, or you can also delete the appliances and do your own thing in there. We would just ask that you get us the specs for the appliances you intend to provide so that we can obviously build the cabinets and wire accordingly. So I say this every time, but I want to point out that all of the cabinets and all of our plans are made to order. So we give you kind of a starting point or a suggestion, but then you can modify from there. For example, these guys did a Lazy Susan over here in the corner. Otherwise, they stayed fairly standard. But some fun ideas just to get your imagination going. So you could do here like an added 1 foot tall cabinet above each of these, like a glass ready look. You could make all of your lowers drawers instead of cabinets. You could delete cabinets above and do open shelving, wine racks, plate racks, pull-outs, trash drawers. There's really so many options to make this kitchen best suit your needs. In this case, they did a painted, cabinet. So our standard is a stained beige. They upgraded and did the painted with a recessed panel, but of course they could have done a raised center panel here in the cabinets as well. Okay. And another thing, they did this full height backsplash. You could choose to take your same solid surface countertop and just round it up if you want this to kind of be a flowing matching look. You could choose to delete the backsplash and do your own thing when you move in. Or you could look at one of our other 50 options and go from there. But the standard is 6 inches of subway tile. They added this farm sink, which is beautiful. So this apron front, really deep bowl farm sink. And then they have our standard plumbing fixtures, which at the time were chrome. They're now a brushed nickel. But of course we use only Moen plumbing fixtures. And then as you've noticed, they have this beautiful granite countertop all throughout this kitchen. So what you're looking at here, this sliding glass door, you'll probably see is about 8 foot tall. And the reason for that is that with that 9-foot plate height package option that these customers selected, we're going to make all of your windows a foot taller and we're going to make your sliding glass door a foot taller. So lots of natural light coming into this space. And then of course, this really tall 5 1/4 inch baseboard for that architectural trim package just really polishes the look. So turning the corner in this great room, what you see there is the entrance to the garage, or the second entrance to the garage. And then we've got, of course, our half bath and our utility room. They've got that same plank laminate floor carried throughout, and that's a Shaw product. So utility room, I am going to pause right here. So of course we are going to do the plumb plug and vent for your laundry, your washer and dryer. However, you are going to provide your own appliances. We do this 5-foot wooden shelf as a standard, but you can absolutely choose to have cabinets instead, custom cabinets, custom shelving. There's a lot of options for that space. And then we've got, in this room, we've got our standard sheeted vinyl. And within that standard, there's probably 20 options to choose from. So right across the way, we've got that little half bath. And the half bath comes standard with a pedestal sink, mirror, and toilet. I'm going to pause because we have a question, which I'm excited about. How wide is the hall coming from the garage? I believe it's 3.5 feet. You can choose if you're looking for ADA specs, or if you have something specific in mind, we can make customizations. Okay, so I always like to point out in this space, if you have like a cutesy mirror or something that you want to provide on your own, you can absolutely do that. But these mirrors are the standards that come with the house. Let's play. Of course, bath accessories are going to match whatever you choose for your plumbing accessories or your plumbing fixtures. We have black options, oil rub bronze options, different styles within that brushed nickel package. So there's a lot of package choices for not only plumbing fixtures, but lighting, doorknobs, drawer pulls and handles on all your cabinets. So if you want, say, like a black finish, you can carry that through so that every fixture in the house is matching. This is the standard light for this dining space. But again, there's lots of lighting package options, or you can always choose to just have a rough-in for a future light fixture, or just a box added for like a heavier chandelier, and then you can provide your own lighting in spaces. So this is a nice shot of that front door. This is a fiber core door. We have stain grade or paint grade options, and then lots of other configurations as far as glass and windows, full height side lights. Okay. We are headed up the stairs. This is a slightly upgraded carpet. And then these particular customers also upgraded their carpet pads. So our standard is a 6 pound and they did an 8 pound. And this is again a Shaw product, Shaw flooring product. All right, slow climb up the stairs. So we've got those same doors that you saw downstairs, the 2-panel round top. Those are carried throughout the house, all closets. Everything matches inside this house. And same with the trim package. As a standard, we're going to do drywall wrapped windows. So you probably noticed that they had upgraded to this taller architectural style trim. And then they also added the windows and sills to all their sills and aprons to all of their windows. You could totally choose to do a full wrap as well if that's the style you like. So there were, if you remember the base plan, there were some reconfigurations done on this side of the house. And that was because out this wall, we now have that studio. So it caused us to reconfigure the egress windows upstairs. So you'll see they kind of swap places. They put the bedroom in the corner and then the bathroom in the center, which did a couple of cool things. It allowed us to put the egress window for the primary suite on the back wall of the house. We've still got this really great size bathroom. They chose to just do one sink in here. As a standard, we do 2 sinks in our primary baths. And then you'll notice they have a different cabinet up here in the bathrooms than they do downstairs. You could put a different cabinet in every room of this house if that was your choice. But they do have a quartz countertop. Now, whenever we do a solid surface countertop, we do an undermount sink included. So we've got this undermount porcelain sink. There's rectangular options rather than round if that's a style you like. And then one change we've made to our base package since this house was built, we now do 2 light fixtures, vanity lights, over the primary suite vanity rather than just one large one centered. We've got the standard subway tile, and then they carried that look over here into their shower. So they left the fiberglass tray, which you can choose to do. We can also do a tile floor. We can do a curbless tile floor, but then full height subway tile on this one. This 1x1 soap niche is standard. You could make this a larger soap niche. You could add a rainfall shower head. You could add a second shower head, a splash wall. There's really a ton of options as far as tile showers are concerned. These little blue tape pieces that you're seeing, those are just denoting little paint that needs fixed, or it was kind of the final walkthrough of the house. So just denoting things that we needed to correct before they moved in. Okay, large walk-in closet. You could choose to do a second row of shelf and pull if you want us to do that. You could have us delete all of the shelf and pull in a closet if you want to do your own organizer. And then so if you remember, one closet access from that bathroom, and then one closet over here access from the primary suite. So we now, with their reconfiguration of the space, we now have kind of his and her closets, rather than that just one really large closet that the plan was originally designed with. Shelf and pull in here. We've got just a center light. As far as lighting and electrical goes, the sky is really the limit. So your homeownership counselor would sit with you during a design meeting and just make sure they fully understand how you intend to use spaces, make sure we have the proper amount of duplex receptacles, floor receptacles, lighting, and then same goes for windows. You can really go crazy with windows, adding them, deleting them, adding doors. There's lots of options. Across the way here, so we've got, this was your furnace closet that we looked at in the standard plans. And then this is bathroom 2. So they chose in this bathroom to go fairly standard. So you've got your sheeted vinyl floor. We've got the tub shower combo. They did add a sink. So in bathroom 2, we only do 1 sink standard. But then they've got a standard beach cabinet and a standard stain. They did add this wall separating the tub and toilet from the vanity. And then of course they've got that architectural trim package carried in here as well. Feel free to send your questions my way if you have any questions on anything I've talked about so far. Okay. Bedroom number 2, good sized bedroom. Upgraded carpet in here. And then we've got that 4x4 egress window in the back. You'll see these ceiling vents in every room of the house, standard. That's a standard light fixture you see. And then that room, we didn't see the closet, but it had the bypass doors on the standard 6-foot closet. Same with this room, good size, upgraded carpet, upgraded trim package, 4x4 window. I don't think we'll see the closet in here yet either, but it's also just a 6-foot closet with bypass. And then we have down here, so you have a half wall looking into your stairwell. You could choose to make that a full wall if you want. You can also do an open rail if that's a style you prefer. But down here we have our final bedroom and the bonus room. So here in the bedroom, this room is facing the front of the house and it gets a slightly larger window than the other 2 rooms. And it also gets that little walk-in closet. Great views. And then right across the way, we've got the bonus room. These are all standard windows. So there's a lot of great natural light coming into this room. You could choose to add lights as far as ceiling lights if you want, but this centered light is what comes with the house. Otherwise, just a big open room. And now we head downstairs to that attached studio. I've had people before do an open rail up here on this this section of drywall, and then also down here on this section of drywall. So there's lots of options for opening up the space if you want more of a pass-through look. All right. So you will see here, they've got that same laminate plank flooring just flowing straight into that studio. So kind of just a continuation of what we did in the main house. We've got across in that studio. And then a couple of things to note in here. So you will see that they did a different cabinet package in here, different backsplash, different countertop. So you could choose to bring all of the same standards into this space, or you could choose to make it totally different. So in this case, mom's living on one side, daughter's living on the other, and they had obviously very different tastes, so it was kind of fun. So mom chose kind of this honey-colored stained beach. Depending on the jurisdiction and depending on the way the studio is set up, you can do a full kitchen. There's a lot of research that goes into these attached studios because jurisdiction by jurisdiction, there's little nuances or changes or requirements. So in this case, in this particular build area, we're calling this, rather than an accessory dwelling, we're just calling this part of the house. So this is a dual primary suite and a living space, which meant that we couldn't do a full range in this kitchen. We could only do a fridge space, a dishwasher, and a microwave. So that's what you're seeing here. This door off to your right is going straight outside, so that's going to be her primary entrance. We've got an attic access hatch there. And then the bathroom. Typically, in a vanity this size, we would put the sink off to one side or the other. So you'd have sink with cabinet below and then a lot of usable counter space. They preferred the style of a sink right in the middle, with then drawers and cupboards on either side. So this was a preference of theirs. We've got, rather than that standard tub shower combo, they modified to do just a fiberglass shower insert. But standard mirrors, standard backsplash, laminate countertops, standard lighting package. And then we have this little utility closet, which now, of course, with the way that they modified this plan, they've got enough space for a side-by-side. Just opens up some options for them. Nice size little utility room. Again, we've got the plumb plug and vent and the 5-foot shelf. So all standards for a utility room. And then this dual primary suite. So as a standard, we are going to put a 6-foot window in a primary suite. They modified, you can see they have this really nice deck and sitting area, amazing views at the back of the property. So they modified that 6-foot window to a 6-foot sliding glass door. And then off in the corner, you're going to see the access to that walk-in closet. So really for the size of this little accessory, they did a great job thinking ahead to configuration and just maximizing the space and getting everything they needed in here. It's a good sized closet. Okay. Get some good shots of the outside of the house. They could have chose in this space, so they did do the 9-foot plate because they had done it downstairs on the other side of the house. They wanted kind of consistent flow. They could have chose to do vaulting in this space. You may have noticed they vaulted the ceilings in the upstairs primary suite. So always an option if there's not living space right above you. They have a ductless heating system in the studio. So obviously she'll be in control of her own temperatures over here versus the central air on the other side, the big house. And then just some great natural light coming in through the front of her little living room. And the idea here with this den entrance was that all of the parties could park in the garage, that third car bay added, and then come straight through this entrance, straight across the den into her own room if mom was coming in too, rather than having to walk all the way around. Okay, so this deck they added themselves. We did do the ledger board, so we made it easy. However, they took the reins and had the deck done. We could have done a patio cover. There's lots of options here, just depending on how you plan to use this space. I've had people do, plumbing and gas for an outdoor kitchen setup. So lots of things you can do back here at the back of the house. Those are standard lights. The house comes with 2 hose bibs and 2 exterior outlets. You can go up and out from there. This is a house built on a little bit of a hillside, as you saw, so it's got a stepped foundation. But when it comes to hillsides, there's options depending on your build area as far as stepping your foundation, potentially digging out, daylight basement. I believe some of our branches can do full basements. Okay. I am going to let this play through again. This is a great opportunity for questions if you have any. Otherwise, I kind of like to wrap up with a couple of points. So if you are considering a build, if you're kind of not really sure where to start, it's never too early to reach out to your local homeownership counselor. So we are prepared to help you. If you have no land, if you have no financing, if you just want to know if this is a feasible option, we can get you all the information and the tools you need to either start down the path or decide if it's something you need to put off for a year or so. But we're prepared to help you at any point in this journey. So don't feel like you need to know anything or have anything secured before you reach out to us. And then the other thing I like to talk about is site prep. So there are essentially 3 cost components that come into play with any build. There's the cost of the land, there's the cost of the house, and then there's the cost to prepare the land for the house. And that is really where all of your variables are. So when we're talking site prep, we are talking the whole package. So building permits, excavation, compacted gravel, maybe some tree removal, maybe a well, maybe a septic, or maybe you're just trenching your utilities at the curb. Maybe you need sidewalks. So it very much varies site by site. What we like to do right off the bat is kind of have the initial discussion with you about what you're looking to do, build a budget, make sure you have financing, and then immediately send our site services superintendent out to the property with you to get a lay of the land and put together a list for you of the work that needs done in order for us to build that house. When it comes to performing the work itself, you have two options. You can do what is called owner equity, which is where we give you the list, we give you the tools, we can even give you contractor references, but you're essentially saying, all right, I'm in charge of my site development. I'm going to get bids from contractors. I'm going to put together this portion of the project and this portion of the budget myself. I just want Adair to come in and build the house when it's done. Or you can do what is called turnkey, which is where you say, I'd like to be minimally involved with this project. I'd like Adair to bid my site prep and my house. Either route you go, we are going to help you. So obviously in turnkey, we're going to be taking on a lot more of that project and kind of just keeping you in the loop as far as what we're doing. But if you do choose to go that owner equity path, we are not just going to leave you out there to figure it out. We're going to be doing regular scheduled phone calls with you. We're going to give you the tools you need as far as your floor plans and your plot plan. We can even go as far as to tell you exactly what to say to a contractor when asking for bids. And then we're going to tell you when to schedule those contractors and when to get that portion of the work going. So you have a lot of options as far as site prep, just very much depending on how involved you want to be or how involved you're comfortable being. The other thing I like to say is as far as financing. So if you were wondering how a construction loan works, I would encourage you to reach out to Adair Financial or even your homeownership counselor. We can give you the ins and outs. But there's a lot of times a misconception that you need to come into a project with just boatloads of cash, or you need to own the property or be prepared to pay for all the site prep out of pocket, and that's not the case. There's options. There's options to roll all those costs into the loan. There's even some $0 down options. So absolutely reach out to us. Reach out to Adair Financial. Do your soft credit poll and find out what you're pre-approved for, what your options are, or maybe you know exactly what you want your monthly payment to be and you want to know exactly how much you can spend to achieve that. So don't hesitate to reach out. I think it can be very confusing or daunting from the outside looking in, but when you talk to a homeownership counselor, we break it down in a way that you're like, all right, I can do this. That being said, I don't see any questions trickling in, so I think I'll give you a couple more seconds, but if there's no questions, I think we will wrap this up. Thank you all so much for joining. And we have another really beautiful house to show off next Friday. So I'd love to see you all there. And that's it. No questions. All right. We'll see you next week. Thank you so much.